I've just cleared customs at London Heathrow, and I am sprinting towards the airport exit to my new life in London, to the most magical reunion in the history of romance. I have left everything behind. I have left my job, my friends, my family, to be with the woman I have fallen madly in love with. And in a matter of seconds, she will be in my arms again, and all will be right with the world. The automatic doors swing open. I scan the waiting area, and I realize she isn't there. An hour passes before she arrives. She greets me with a weak hug, and without even looking in my eyes, she whispers in my ear, "I think this was a bad idea." And as she pulls the remaining pieces of my broken heart directly out of my chest, "I think you should go." I fly back to Washington, a completely broken man. And in the haze of heartache and grief, I begin to make some very bad decisions. I decide to embrace unemployment as a way of life because, well, a full-time job would get in the way of all the brooding that I would have to do, right? I decide to drain my bank account traveling to music festivals all across the country because partying with complete strangers is a lot more fun than crying alone. And I decide to start dating again immediately. But I have a whole new approach to courtship that guarantees I will never get my heart broken again. I am reborn as a bad boy. The only thing in my life that isn't walled off is my bedroom. My heart, that is closed for business. Ladies, I am being truthful when I tell you I am not going to call you back. You can chalk me up as a bad decision. And there are a lot of bad decisions being made in DC that summer. The bad boy business is exceptionally good. And then one night, one of my favorite bands comes to DC to play a show as part of their reunion tour. Now, the name of the band is Ride, and I'm sure many of you probably have never heard of it because, well, quite frankly, I'm a music snob, but also because when they were famous, they weren't even that famous. So I'm pretty convinced that the 930 Club is going to be filled of guys that look pretty much like me. Drunk, middle-aged, balding dudes who are probably experiencing some sort of midlife crisis and wishing that it was the early 90s again. So I make my way to a bar adjacent to the 930 Club to get a few beers in me before the show. And I'm sitting there and I'm 3 beers deep when the bar doors swing open and this cute woman with a pixie cut flutters in with all the manic energy of an animated bird in a 1940s Disney cartoon. And my eyes follow her as she flutters around the bar until she comes to perch on the only remaining vacant bar stool right next to me. And then I witnessed one of the most shocking things I think I have ever seen. She waves the bartender over. She leans in and she says, "Would it be possible to get just half a beer?" I have spent a lot of time in a lot of bars, and I have never heard anyone ask such a ridiculous question. Oh, but no, she doesn't stop there. She follows it up with this little gem. "And what's the soup of the day?" Did this strange creature just literally walk into a dive bar, ask to order a half beer, and then follow it up with a question about soup? I just couldn't. No, not tonight, Jesus. So to escape this whole half beer bowl of soup debacle that is rapidly escalating to my right, I just trained my attention to the TV over the bar, pretending to watch whatever is on it. Then more than 30 seconds go by when half beer taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, what movie is that?" Now, I have zero interest in playing movie trivia with Half Beer, so I changed the subject to the one thing, and the one thing only that I am interested in talking about, the ride show. Are you here for the show? I ask her. And I'm shocked to find myself in the presence of another ride concert goer. I immediately perk up. Oh my goodness, I saw them at Shaky Knees in Atlanta a few months ago. It was transcendent. I'm so excited to see them again. What songs do you want to hear? She smiles and she says, well, I've got to be honest with you. The only reason I'm here is because my friend's husband got sick and I decided to come at the last minute as her stand-in date. I think I know Ride from my college days, but I couldn't name a single Ride song if you paid me. And then she shoveled another spoonful of soup into her mouth. Could she not really name a single Ride song? Was she gonna eat soup before a rock concert? And why did she want only half a beer? But before I can ask her any of those questions, her friend arrived. I finished my beer and made my way across the street to the 930 Club to secure my favorite spot, right up front. The concert is absolutely glorious, and I am still buzzing as I make my way into the night after the show. And I see a group of people assembled in front of the 930 Club, and sure enough, there is Half Beer in her friend. So I decide to walk up. Wasn't that amazing? I ask Half Beer. She says, it was okay, but amazing? No. In that moment, I activated bad boy mode. Well, what do you say we go grab a drink somewhere and you can tell me what it takes to amaze you? Yeah, she made a face kind of like that. She was just like, ugh. She says, a drink now? It's midnight. I've got to work tomorrow. Don't you have to work tomorrow? I did not. At that point, her little mousy friend who has said nothing up until this moment decides to pipe up. Oh, you two should definitely grab a drink sometime. She recently had a bad breakup. Fine. She said, Half Beer says to me, just give me your contact information and I'll get in touch with you sometime. I say, please, contact information. Just Google Pierce McManus. You'll find me. I'm kind of a big deal. Yes, and she reacted pretty much like that, yeah. But I was persistent. Oh, no. What if I want to get in touch with you? Half Beer sighs, exasperated. She grabs her purse, reaches into her purse, pulls out her wallet, and says, well, I think I'm all out of business cards. And then, ladies and gentlemen, in what can only be referred to as a dick move, I announce, that's fine. Any of these should do, as I reach into Half Beer's wallet and remove the very first card that I see. It's her Planned Parenthood membership card. The next morning, I wake up and I look over at my night table and I see the Planned Parenthood card sitting there. Did I honestly steal a woman's Planned Parenthood card last night? And then I begin to feel the first few pangs of guilt that I've felt in a very, very, very long time. And then I do what anyone in my position would do. I Google Half Beer, and I find out, well, she's kind of a big deal. Veteran, world traveler, and based upon the photos that I found on social media, a close personal friend of fellow bad boy Ben Affleck. True. Good job, asshole, I tell myself. There's another interesting woman of Washington, D.C. you'll never hear from or see again. A week later, I receive an email. Subject line, all caps, stolen Planned Parenthood card. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous as I clicked open. And remarkably, she said, I enjoyed meeting you and maybe we could get together for a drink sometime. And my initial reaction was, hasn't this woman suffered enough? But I was curious, so we decided to meet up. We talked about travel, music, her love of soup. And I learned of her recent breakup. And as we talked about our mutual situations, it was like we knew exactly how each of us felt. And every time I saw her after that, my bad boy veneer kind of melted away. But we were both cautious, so we decided to take things slow. So I'm pleased to tell you tonight that Half Beer, who also goes by the name of Kid, and I have been taking things slow for the past 8 years. And we're very much in love. And this is crazy, and you're some of the first people to hear this. We bought a house together in Arlington, and that's kind of insane. But I'm sure many of you are wondering what I was wondering almost a year or two into our courtship. I was like, I never could figure out, though, why did you write me and ask me out for a drink after I had been such a complete asshole the night that we met? And this is what she told me. She said, well, my friends all told me I needed a meaningless fling to get over my bad breakup. They called it a palate cleanser. You know, I just thought we were gonna have a one-night stand. I didn't know it would turn out this way, and that would work out like this. You were only supposed to be a bad decision. So like I said, there were a lot of bad decisions being made in DC that summer, but I think that's the best bad decision of them all. Thank you very much.